You are such a geek.
Geek. What is a geek? What is a geek?
Wow. You're a neo-maxi zoom dweeby.
What is a geek?
Photos, motorhead, lust, blood, way stories, dweeby, big head, geek.
Australia for a week and then New Zealand for 2 weeks.
I want to go.
And this is at the end of June?
June 28th to July 20th.
Dude, I'm driving my Lamborghini on June 26th at 10:30 a.m.
I know. I was looking at buying my dad a Cayman. So, are you doing a lap with an instructor first?
I don't know.
Because this program's wild. The way it works is if you don't book a lap with an instructor first, they just give you the car.
What the fuck? That seems super unsafe.
I didn't want to pay the $80 for a ride along. I just wanted to drive this car.
You know what's funny? This harkens back to the Austin conversation. Part of me knew you didn't spend the $80 to have the ride along.
Why would I? I'm paying the $500 to drive the car. I also got the high-end insurance.
$129 insurance, yeah.
You're damn right. My buddy, he said to me, because he knows the person that owns this company. He says to me, get the mid insurance and don't hit anything. So I said, well, I had already gotten the expensive insurance. He's like, oh, that's fine.
It's $40. I think it's a good $40 to spend to have enough money that if you did put the car into a wall, you get out and go, whoopsie.
And he said, hit whatever I can. So
nobody can be mad at me.
And I'm going to do it on the third lap. I'm going to do it on the third lap.
Did he say the same thing? He said,
he did.
Oh, okay. Because it's true. Usually, at most of these experiences, they have a driver in the car with you so that they can coach you while you're hauling ass. That doesn't seem to be the case, but
I'm going to expect it will be, but I haven't seen anything saying it's making. I think the ride along is where you sit and you can get like a survey of the track,
right? But I think
with somebody else driving.
I think the reason they offer that is because there will be because if you don't get insurance, they put somebody in the car with you.
Oh yeah, and I got it.
I know, but I think the insurance bypasses having somebody in the car with you,
and I'm okay with that.
I love it for you.
Yeah, I'm very excited about this.
Have you been doing your curls and shit?
Not yet. It's also the cars are all automatic, which I should have assumed that they would be.
They're all too fast to be manual.
Yeah.
Whoa, what?
But I gotta say, go ahead.
You can have cars that are too fast to be manuals
for like the last 20 years. Ferrari, Lamborghini, Audi, Porsche, the new Corvette. They're all so fast that for you to
Are they on the steering wheel shifters?
Yeah, or you can just turn it into sport mode where it just does it itself aggressively. Either way. But you humanly can't kick the pedals and row fast enough to keep the engine revving while you're fucking going from first to third and shit. Like if you're hauling ass, you physically just can't do it.
So my plan is to do the first lap at a reasonable speed because I'm still going to be all giggity about driving a Lambo.
Yeah, I
want to get the lay of the track because I do want to open it up at some point. Like people have asked me how fast am I going to be able to go, and I don't expect to redline it, but I'd like to do at least 150, 160.
Yeah, there's no way you'll redline it on that track. It's too short of a track, but you have a half a mile straightaway.
So that's where I need to fucking gun it and then drop down as quick as possible before I hit that turn. Not all the way, but I'm excited.
What song are you planning on blasting while you're driving this fast?
Oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I didn't even think about that.
My suggestion, Kickstart Your Heart by
Holy shit, that's the song I was thinking about.
Really?
For real. No, that's the song that I would drive fast to.
Kickstart Your Heart?
Yeah.
With as fast as you're going to be driving, I almost recommend not listening to music.
They probably won't allow it, and I want to hear the engine. I want to feel all of it.
You want to hear everything. You want to hear the suspension. You want to,
Yeah.
It's my birthday, you fucking nerd. We're gonna listen to whatever we want.
But I watched a YouTube video. It was just showing the girls that car, and it was the Top Gear dude, one of those guys, I think it was, and he did a review on the Huracan, and
was it an LP610-4?
I don't know if it was the same exact model.
The LP610-4 is quite a bit faster than the normal Huracan.
I'm paraphrasing, but what he basically said was that it was a beautiful, like an engineered, like a Lamborghini and a great car, one of their top.
Yeah.
But it didn't have the feel of a Lamborghini.
It's an
meaning
Audi.
like when they show video of other Lamborghinis that he drove in the past, he was all like fucking geeked out and like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. And not even just the driving, but just being in a Lamborghini. He said that this one was made to sell units.
Yeah, it's an Audi. VW's owned Lamborghini for 20 years, and they've finally started to get really involved. But
I'm okay with it.
The truth of it is the reason those guys, that's like a car journalist who gets to drive a different car every day, and he wants to drive a Lamborghini that's totally unreasonable.
Right.
You're going to drive one that's technically faster and actually nicer to drive.
Yeah. I'm very excited.
Yeah, it's going to rule. But yeah, start work, like do a lot of squats.
I can't do squats.
You need to be doing toe lifts like all day, every day at school when you're bored. You need to.
Am I going to fit up in this car?
Yeah, you need to be going up on your tippy toes and down and just up and down all fucking day till it burns.
Oh.
You should probably work on clenching your ass cheeks together too.
No, but you should work on.
I'm doing that right now.
It's like a sit up. It's called a scissor. So you do like a third of a sit up and then keep your arms. Here, let me get back far enough to show you.
Oh.
So you'd be like in a sit up. So you're like this, right?
Yeah.
And then you keep your arms out to your side. You do like 3/4 of a sit up.
Yeah.
And you tap your ankles.
Oh, okay.
And each one you do 2 for 1. So 1, 2.
Oh, okay.
3, and it'll burn like shit, but it tightens you up here.
Oh, I needed to be tight.
And when you're pulling G's and shit, and you're trying to control the steering wheel and keep your core tight, this is where you're going to give out first.
Okay.
It won't be here. It'll be right through here, and it'll be on fire when you.
Are those like obliques?
No, it's like this shit right here.
Ooh, I didn't know it was going to be this kind of podcast.
You can see mine because how skinny I am. It's this muscle that goes from your ab up under your armpit.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to work on that because I want to be in top form.
If I sent you a video of what they do to F1 drivers to work out, you'd be like, oh, okay, so I got to get ready.
Should I watch like Gran Turismo again and see the training that they do?
No, because I mean, those cars are like flying fighter jets, but it's a lot of G's. You're going to be more tired that night than you're mentally prepared for. Even after us talking about it, you're going to get home and be like, oh, fuck, I'm going to bed at 8.
I'm not going to be doing 160 the whole time. I mean,
that's not the part that'll wear you out. The part that's going to wear you out is nailing corners and finding the best fit line and the way you concentrate, staring 200 yards out while you're going 90 through corners. That taxes. There's more muscle and shit involved in it than you're even going to be. It's like skiing. It doesn't feel like that much while you're going down the hill. And then as soon as you sit down, you're like, oh, fuck, my armpit hurts.
How fast can you, I don't know that track at all, but how fast can you conceivably hit some of those turns?
You're really fucking fast. And you're in the 4-wheel drive lightweight Lamborghini. That's the 610-4. It's the 610 kilograms less than the normal one. And it's 4-wheel drive instead of rear-wheel drive.
Dude, I think I could handle a straightaway, but doing like a full track with corners and shit, I feel like I would immediately be on the wall.
Your kidneys are going to hurt, Matt.
Oh,
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, like a good track session, you walk away from it, and then that night you're like, did somebody kick my ass? Oh, yeah, I went really fast in that car.
I'm going to be okay with it.
Yeah.
But I am going to train. I am going to train like it means something.
High carb meal the night before, high fat, so your brain's firing right.
Ooh.
for real. You want to have like good usable avocado and meat fat and shit like that in you, so that your brain's really reacting as quick as you can get it to go.
Okay, well, come on, dude. You're leaving 2 days later. Come do it with me.
My dad has been begging for this for like 2 years. So if I'm going to spend the money, I think I got to spend it on him and not me.
That's fair.
Yeah. But when I asked him which car he'd want to drive, he was like, I want to drive my car. And I was like, they won't allow that. And he was like, right, but I want to learn in my car. And I was
what
like,
does he have?
He wants to drive his Mini Cooper. The Mini Cooper's got twice the stock horsepower. It's bananas fast.
Yeah, I've been in one. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, my dad's would keep up with the Lamborghini you're going to drive.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a fucking problem. I've hit corners in it in 120. It's the second best skid pad G's that were ever pulled by Motor Trend. The only car that did better than it was the Enzo.
What are those cars? Did you look at the list of cars that they have at this site?
Yeah.
Like, what's the one car that you would be?
I want to drive that 488.
Oh, the Ferrari?
Yeah.
That Hellcat sounds cool.
No.
No, it's not a good car?
No.
All right. Well, fuck that Hellcat.
No, fuck that Hellcat. In its ass. A Hellcat's a 1989 Mercedes-Benz 190E with a big Dodge motor in it. It's a fucking hunk of junk.
Oh, that Ferrari looks cool.
Yeah, the 488's a fucking ripper.
All right. 0 to 60 in 3 seconds.
Yeah, the Lamborghini's faster 0 to 60, but I think I could keep the Ferrari hotter on the track because it's not all-wheel drive.
I'm going to say there's 2 things that I'm really excited about. I mean, other than just going super fucking fast. I'm really excited about like just the acceleration on that, just in the beginning. Like I want to see if I can pull off that 0 to 60 in
Oh, you can. It has launch
3
control.
seconds.
Are you going to do a peel out?
Yeah. I don't know. Like
You can't. It has.
It
has to be in launch control for the computer to give you the best 0 to 60.
So I want to experience that, and I'm excited for some of the turns. To be honest with you,
that sounds fun. Pulling some G's.
Yeah,
you're going to be pulling several G's, 2 to 3 on almost every corner, and you're going to be pulling negative G's when you pull a corner into another corner. Your body's going to have the. So I mean, dude, it twists up your insides. It's something that non-car people don't think about, but racing is a lot harder at speed than the normal guy comprehends. That's why they limit the laps. It's not that they can't afford to let you have 10 or 12 laps. It's because a baby boomer's fucking biceps will fail without any warning, and then all of a sudden they will drive the fucking Corvette into the wall. Because it is just, you're going harder than you think, and then all of a sudden you go, oh, and then you're in a wall and you're dead and on fire.
Do you have to sign like a waiver
Yes.
that you won't sue if you crash?
Yeah, and if you die.
Be safe, Matthew.
I won't sue if I die.
Well, yeah. Well, you won't be able.
No, man. Death or glory.
Yeah, you'll
That's
be
what
fine.
we're going for. Death or glory. All right. Speaking of fine, you said Daredevil came out.
Yes, and much like Daredevil, you're gonna be flying in the face of your religion, because he's a Catholic man who goes out at night dressed like the devil, and you're gonna be a nice Jewish boy who goes out in an auto union car.
That's okay.
It's a DKW. It's a DKW vehicle. That's bad news. If that showed up at your house, that means it was time to hide in the attic.
Oh my God.
The company was started by Hitler.
All right, but it's changed.
VW.
Just
And
like
now
just like the devil means something different now.
It now identifies as a non-Nazi.
Yeah, now it identifies as a tractor maker who wanted to make a point and sure did.
Sure did.
Daredevil is so fucking good that it
You know what
hurts
they
my
say
soul.
About the Murdoch boys, they got the devil.
They
in
got the devil in them.
I was shocked.
Shocked?
I had my shocks rocked, dude. 5 minutes into the episode.
Oh, it's a rocker. It's a shocker.
Really? Why? What happened?
Oh, Matthew.
Somebody dies.
Somebody dies for sure.
First episode, somebody dies?
Somebody dies immediately, and then Matt Murdock attempts to murder the guy who killed him immediately.
Froggy?
Froggy dies, and then Matt Murdock tosses Bullseye off a fucking roof onto his neck.
Damn.
Yeah, and he lives somehow because... All right, so all the Netflix shit is now canonical, right?
It's canon, baby.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're doing one of those like everything happened the way it did, or is it more like
Everything
it
happened the way it did. They might change cognium to adamantium.
And yeah, maybe
I think
maybe
that's the
it
only
happened,
change.
but maybe not exactly the way the Netflix ones went down.
No, I think that's canon.
Oh wait, adamantium's already in the MCU, right?
Right,
Captain America.
but they made Bullseye's spine at the end of the third season 7 years ago. Cadmium or Cag, I forget what they called
Cagney
it.
and Laceium,
It was some fucking fake metal.
Laverne and Shirleyum.
Yeah, so I think now that they have the freedom to use adamantium, and it wasn't really harped on what they were doing to him, that they'll probably change it to being adamantium.
Because he's adamantium in the comics, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Dude, it was.
But other than that, I think
very
everything's there. The painting's still in the show. Vanessa's still Vanessa. All the actors and actresses are the same people. They refer to Ben. They refer to everybody. Everybody is part of the story. It is very much a continuation.
Now, who was Foggy on the phone with when he on the phone with Marcy?
No, he was on the phone with a guy who was supposed to be hiding in his house.
Who was hiding in his house?
The guy he was on the phone with.
But like, why was he in hiding?
It was a client.
Oh, okay. Oh, man.
And he didn't want Matt to know he was in hiding because he didn't want to give Matt an excuse to go protect this guy as the devil. Because Matt's been not being Daredevil.
Oh shit!
He stopped being Daredevil
after the events of season 3.
It seems like after the events of
She-Hulk,
Echo.
Oh, Echo.
Yeah. And that he just hasn't been doing it, or hasn't been doing it as much, or that Foggy doesn't like being the reason that he's doing it. And then Matt takes a pincushion's worth of knives and gets upstairs and just drops that motherfucker.
Dude, he is so stabbed up. He has so many throwing knives just hanging out of his body.
It's truly insane.
The amount of knives?
It's crazy how they did it, the special effect. When he fucking knocks him out of his forearm. Oh, that's brutal, dude. When he just and just knocks all the knives out of his fucking arm. Like from the side, he doesn't pull them out. He knocks them the fuck out of his arm.
Oh my god, dude.
And this is in response to seeing Foggy get killed?
No, it's while he's fighting Bullseye. Bullseye's just lighting him the fuck up with knives.
Wow.
He's as, and no pun intended, a blind rage.
Yeah. And then
he's gone full berserker rage.
And then he gets on the roof and he's like finally pretty much subdued Bullseye. And then he hears Foggy's heart stop.
And he hears Karen freaking out.
And he just tosses Bullseye like a fucking ragdoll off the roof.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
And then he decides he's not allowed to be the devil anymore. He lost that privilege.
I mean, that's fair, right?
Dude, it's gonna be weird because he doesn't have his priest friend to.
They allude to that. He walks by the church and stares at it and thinks about the post-communion prayer, and then just continues walking because he doesn't have anybody to confide in anymore.
Mm-hmm.
What was his name? Father Goose?
Father Dowling?
I don't remember. I want to say Father Matthews, but that doesn't make any sense.
I feel like it started with a J. I feel like it was pretty Irish.
Father Earthworm Jim.
Father Jessup.
Was it?
No, I just made that up.
That sounds more right to me, though. It's something weird. It's from the comics.
Daredevil priest.
Well, I haven't been able to
Father
get caught up.
Lantum.
Lantum.
Father Lantum.
Father Lantern? That's an interesting name.
Lantum.
But yeah, it's really good. Him and Karen's relationship's fucked because she watched him try to kill Bullseye in revenge for Foggy, and he, like, one of his villains came after them and killed Foggy. So they're not doing great. He started a new law firm. It picks up like a year later after that. And Fisk is running for mayor.
Yeah.
Now, hang on just a sec. Did you have trouble? Like, I don't know if it was just on the TV, but like the sound mix sounded really weird at the beginning of the episode.
No, that must have been your TV.
Yeah, well, I kind of figured that.
I'm sorry, buddy.
No, it's okay. I'm just maybe it's my head, my brain, and my ears how they processes sound.
No, it was probably, if you're not using a sound bar or something, it was probably the TV.
I usually watch stuff in headphones.
Yeah. But
yeah, dude, I like this idea of them doing 2 episodes at a time.
I don't think they are.
No, they're only doing the first 2, and then it's going to be 1 per week.
Yeah,
it's that's not bad either.
The Disney model. So Fisk is running for mayor.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking, it's not sitting right with Matt. Matt just shows up outside of a press conference and tells Fisk, like, we need to go talk.
They go to a diner or something?
Yeah, and they go to that diner from the ad.
The trailer.
Yeah.
I must admit it's weird seeing you here.
Yeah, and they have their little conversation where they both end up threatening each other.
Ooh.
And being like, if you step out of line once, I'll fuck you up.
The
And
devil
then
in Hell's Kitchen will be on your ass.
And then Kingpin makes it clear that he didn't put the hit out on Foggy.
Oh.
And he didn't break their deal.
Who did?
We don't know. I think it's Vanessa.
What was the deal? Like, don't fuck with my people?
If you don't fuck with my people, I won't fuck with... He said he'd ruin Vanessa and turn her over to the cops with evidence for saying she was involved in all the criminal activities.
Oh.
If Kingpin ever fucked with him in any way. So they agree that they're still under agreement and that it's a watch your fucking ass, I don't trust you. And they leave, and it's a really good tense situation. And then Matt's also working this case for this dude who stopped 2 guys from jumping this other dude in the subway. But this one guy swings at him, and he ducks it, and the dude flies in front of the train coming by and just gets misted.
Oh.
And so, but it turns out it's 2 cops. So the other cop arrests him on the spot. And the cops are lying about the fact that they were fucking with another guy down there. So Matt's representing this dude. Turns out to be White Tiger. But he didn't have his amulet, and he wasn't wearing his costume, and he didn't have his powers. But Fisk has started this whole very Civil War, like, we're going to brand all of the superheroes and know who they are. And we're going to regulate it. We will have no more vigilantes in this town.
There will be no more vigilantes.
Yeah.
My town.
Ow! Fuck!
What happened?
I hit my ankle bone so hard.
Oh no!
How hard did you hit it?
So hard!
Sorry.
So
was White Tiger in that Spider-Man animated show?
Yeah.
Ultimate Spider-Man. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say not the new one, but the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So White Tiger's on trial. They know these cops are lying. The end of the second episode, Daredevil Matt finally figures out where the guy that they were beating up is. And he knows the cops are on their way to kill him. So he rushes over there, tells the dude, crawl out the fire escape. My contact's waiting for you at the park down the street to get you out of here. And then the cops bust into the room, or Matt lets them in while they're trying to bust in. And they come in, and Matt's just like, the guy you're looking for isn't here. He's turned witness. Get out of here.
Yeah.
And the guys are like, no. And then start whooping on Matt. And Matt's just kind of taking it because he's not the Daredevil anymore. And then he's on the ground on his knees bleeding out of his mouth. And the guy says, do it. And the other dude puts him on his knees and pulls out a gun. And Matt just frantically starts going, "Don't do this. Don't do this. Please don't do this. I'm a lawyer." And he's like, "I don't care. Shut up." And then Matt just kills them both.
Whoa,
Damn.
he's just murdering?
Pretty brutally kills them both. I'm pretty sure. Maybe one of them's alive, but one of them they even threw in the sound effect to make sure you know he cracked his neck.
I mean, he kind of had to, right?
Yeah, they were going to kill him, but it also complicates the case because now Daredevil killed 2 guys in defense of White Tiger, and Fisk knows that he's the Daredevil.
Yeah, but why else would the cops have been there?
I don't know. And one of the cops had like a Punisher tattoo, but with like a Blue Lives Matter flag tattooed across the forehead of the Punisher.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so I think that's why the Punisher is going to show up this season. Is these mad cops are using his symbol.
That's fucking funny.
Yeah.
Oh, so we haven't seen Frank yet.
No. Yeah.
I think it's dope that they brought him back too.
I agree.
Yeah.
Also, Foggy, he did confirm that he used to work at Hogarth Benowitz Chow.
Yeah.
So that like basically canonized Jessica Jones.
It's all canon, Mitch.
I think I read something about maybe they're going to do another Defenders.
Yeah, Jessica Jones is probably appearing this season as the big rumor.
Holy shit balls, dude. I gotta watch this. I'm gonna put my tablet. I'm gonna immerse myself in the sound.
It's so good. It's so fucking good.
I'm glad that it's back. It's already renewed for a second season.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, they know it's going to do well.
Well, it's already getting received very well too.
Is it?
Yeah, everybody's very happy.
Good. I wasn't trying to be standoffish. I was just trying to further along the podcast.
Yeah, everybody's stoked on the new Daredevil. It's the best Marvel product. It's better than Iron Man. Everybody else who thinks wrong.
What? Who said that? I'm not watching this shit now.
Everybody with eyes.
Although it had the second, I think it was the second highest score of the 4 seasons from Rotten Tomatoes. I saw something earlier that the first season scored really well. The third season had like a 97%.
Yeah.
This season is getting a 91 or 92%.
Nice.
I'm looking at it right now. Daredevil Born Again is 85% by critics and 87% by Popcorn Bucket.
I stand corrected.
Yeah, but there's going to be people who are just like, why has he got a black lawyer lady as a partner?
Oh, she's a DEI hire.
Yeah, it is. It is Marvel fans, so you have to brace for that.
God, people are fucking dumb.
You are dumb. Wait, has any of you seen new Captain America yet?
As
we all know, this all leads to Wolverine.
No, I have not. What leads to Wolverine? The show?
You know, all of Marvel, remember in the chat? It was
right.
It was told to us that this is all okay, but it's not good because it's not doing what it's all meant to do, which is get to Wolverine.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, those fans are reviewing Daredevil. They're in there.
Well, I can't wait to watch more Daredevil. It comes out, on Mondays?
It's supposed to be Tuesdays, but it's Disney, so I think that means
Monday
at like 9.
Or 1 p.m., 1 a.m.
10. It's a midnight Eastern. Like the first premiere, they always do it at an actual like time. And then it's usually... But like the Acolyte was different. The Acolyte was at like 6 p.m. So I don't know. We'll see. Either Monday or Tuesday night.
Nice.
They release it like we release episodes.
Well, but I mean, like
that would be funny.
Severance comes out tomorrow, and I've seen it.
Yeah, I've also seen it. I watched the rest of it while we were talking about cars.
Right? What the fuck, dude? Okay, so
okay, are they all huffing? Okay, well, first of all, watch Daredevil. Have you seen Daredevil? Write us in and tell us about it.
Yeah, we want to know what you think about Frog Dog being dead.
Fog Dog.
Fog Dog. Frog Dog's the guy I grew up with.
Frog Dog?
Yeah.
What? Do tell.
Was he a frog or a dog?
Dude, the nicknames
Frog Dog.
came out of me and my best friend being very high on heroin. But our buddy Rodney had 3 nipples and was a froggy little fuck. And at one point we just started calling him Frog Dog. And if people would ask, we'd be like, show him the nipple. There's no real reasoning behind it.
It sounds like there actually is real reasoning behind it.
Yeah, but not really. Same way that like our nicknames were all over the place.
No, that's fine.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And this is partially because I watch it on split screen with you guys and with subtitles, but can we talk about this recent episode of Severance?
Yes, they were huffing ether.
Okay. They were huffing ether, and Lumon was started as an ether mill,
Yes.
and Kier fell in love with Imogen.
Yeah,
He fell in love with a Nox on a moon.
But
from
she
the
says it
fucking
all
Mummy
weird.
Returns.
Arquette says Imogene like a fucking dingus. She says
Imogen.
she says it all fucking weird.
I'm a Han.
Imogen.
I think she says like Imogen.
Imogen.
And it's like, no.
She says a Nox on a moon.
It's Imogene.
I'm not caught up on Severance, but that's fine. I was watching the dinner when Irving went over for ham.
Oh, we have a ham.
I was watching that episode.
Nice.
So-
Attila. But I talk about it. Yeah,
That's so fun. And we say
digging it.
Attila instead of Han.
Yeah.
It's a pun.
That is something 2 really old queens would come up with. I thought it was like, for real, I thought that was like a cute thing for 2 old gay dudes who had obviously had like a rough relationship over the past to have like come up with for a fun thing that was fitting and like detailed. But also if you called a woman Attila in a cute way, it wouldn't be cute pretty quick. Yeah, Cobell was nuts. Dude, the reveal at the end might be the craziest thing that's happened in the entire show.
Of tonight's episode?
Fucking A, dude.
Well, okay, so let me walk through this because, Jake, you watched it with sound and not picture with Broadcast Geeks. So you know what? I was doing my homework as the teacher was talking so that I could turn it in right now.
I've been there. I appreciate this.
Hey, you know what? This is the new me. It's 2025. I'm evil now.
You've gone arch. You've turned heel.
I'm a heel. I'm a bad guy now.
Like John Cena.
Like John Cena, dude. Fucking generational heel turn. But okay, so Cobell is in this town that she lived in.
That she grew up in.
She grew up in, and it's like another town that Lumon basically fucking sucked dry and moved.
It's the ether mill.
It's the original ether mill.
Uh-huh.
Which started after the Civil War.
Uh-huh.
And so the Egan's... So I didn't understand what happened when she went to the town. So then she found the fucking ether tube, and then she just got in the bed and started huffing ether?
No.
What?
That was her mom's breathing tube.
Why was she breathing the ether into it?
It wasn't ether in that one.
Yeah, it was in the drip bag, unless it was like bourbon or something.
Well, the drip bag was her mom's old IV bag. She plugged the breathing tube into the breathing apparatus.
And she's trying to breathe her breath?
Yeah, it's creepy and sad.
It's weird, but also it looked like there was piss in the machine. She was huffing the piss.
Well, it's like plastic that hasn't been used since she was 12 years old.
And so she asked to see the mom, and then the old lady that was there, who is her
she has to see
sister.
the room. I think that lady's just like a caretaker of the house.
And she said that, and did Cobell know that the mom wasn't there?
Yeah, she already knew she was dead.
Oh.
She died years ago. She wanted in the room.
And they just kept the room like that because...
It's a dead town. There's no more use for it.
They could have put like a 7-Eleven or something in there.
Yeah, have you been to Trinidad, Colorado?
Yeah, I know.
There's a lot of homes that could be 7-Elevens. Yeah, no, there's just nothing going on there. The town's dead. Kier quit making ether because
They got into the sex trafficking business.
Severance that was
Severance.
invented by,
Harmony Cobell.
correct, while she was at the girls' school.
She invented it, and then
Oh, Harmony, she's the creator of the Severance program?
She invented it as a teenage girl, and Jamie Egan stole it from her and told her if she ever tried to take credit, she'd be
killed.
no, she'd be
Like
exiled.
publicly discredited?
No,
Okay.
like exiled from the cult.
Is she severed? Can she be turned off?
No.
It's her invention, bud. She didn't let that happen to her. It's an
All right,
experiment.
so wait.
She's watching being run.
So then she's kind of like Miss
Cute.
Swan? Was she like a
From
prodigy?
Mad TV?
Yeah, me and Mitch had a different reference for Miss Swan.
He
than
looked
you
like
do,
a
buddy.
man.
No, Miss Huang.
I don't
Oh.
know.
You know, the little girl.
Yeah.
I don't know. No.
He looked like a man.
Yes. No.
Like, so
Alex Borstein.
was she? It makes me wonder. Was she like that little girl?
Well, she was in a program like that little girl, but she was obviously a fucking genius savant. She invented Severance in a notebook.
And then Cat Stevens came by.
Yeah, Jamie Egan stole the
Egan.
idea. At the
Why
school
is he
he
James?
run,
He's a
'cause they're
singular
creeps.
James.
they're creeps.
And who is Kier?
Kier's the original.
Right, but like he's been basically deified. He's their god.
Right, because they were running Egan. The Egan group was being run as a cult, as like a
Of
subsection
ether
of
huffers?
Lumen, and then she invented Severance, and then Severance became like the main focus of the cult instead of just running a cult and selling
Instead of-
ether
and
and
selling-
selling all these fucking bullshit snake oil sciences and medicines and shit. They
Oh,
figured out that they had like a real thing this little girl invented that Jamie Egan could be like, this was given to me by the brain of Kier that
Kier
lives
made it
through us
so.
all.
Yeah.
But even that
'cause
lady
Kier's
tells
knowledge
Cobell-
is meant to be shared.
But that lady tells Cobell that the reason, like that they believed Kier was in her, and that's why they took her to that school and took her away from being a child laborer at the factory.
Mm.
Whoa.
So she presented as like a child genius, and they stole her to put her in this academy, hoping to Edison one of her ideas.
And then they did.
Yeah, and it ended up being the biggest idea ever. But she leaves and finally answers the phone for Devin. And,
Right, and
so now
she's-
she's headed back to hang out with Devin and Mark. And so she's on Mark's side now on like, fuck Lumen, we got to burn them down. They're coming for me.
Right, and they started coming for her at the end of the episode.
Right. And she was there to get the plans to prove that it's hers. Like
Right.
she's there to burn them down. That's why she needed that guy to give her a ride, because they'd recognize her car quicker.
And
Because
that
they're definitely
guy,
surveilling the house. That guy worked as a child laborer with her at the ether factory.
and he's her fuck buddy. They made out.
They probably fooled around when they do drugs when they were kids, when they'd huff ether at work.
Jesus Christ. Sounds like I gotta watch this fucking episode with sound.
A lot of this is inferred and like really quick, where like he talks about how they were child laborers, and then you see her only being measured till she was 12, and the old lady saying like, even when you were at the factory, you were the most expeditious worker. You were the most, like, she's complimenting her on before she got taken there because they saw Kira in her and how good of a child laborer she was.
Dude, that's nuts. I mean, it's nuts that people would, because it sounds like Kier is like at least recent American history, like to kind of like worship a guy like that who was not like just a couple generations ago.
Well, do they talk more about
I
what's
know,
going on
I
in the
know.
world?
No.
Because on the episode that I watched, Attila, you know, when he comes in, Christopher Walken's also, he goes, we also have corn, as if that's a hot ticket thing. And when he brings the bottle of wine, Fields looks at it and it's almost like, oh my God, wine. So I'm just wondering, like,
well, the wine thing's because in the episode before he tells him to bring expensive wine because that'll better.
But that makes I understand that, but it makes me wonder if.
Well, I think it was expensive wine. I think it fit the description.
I wonder if this Severance is taking place in like a post-Trump tariff world, or a time where things aren't available, and that's why there's all this Lumon housing and
it's like a Last of Us situation.
Yeah, not that extreme, but something is going on in the world.
I think it's that they're in like a company town, and so what's available is what's available.
Okay.
I don't know if the whole country is like that per se.
Well, but then why does Rickon live there or near there at least? You know, if.
Oh, we don't have any listeners there, I hope. But I mean, like, Mississippi's still a place. And so's West Virginia and all of Appalachia.
Fair enough.
Yeah, like I think it's just a matter of like, that's what those people do. That's where they're stuck. That's where the house is paid off.
Hey, Mississippi and all those other places Jake mentioned, you just got geeked.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of places, like, they haven't had coal industry down there in forever, in West Virginia, any of those places. It's like they're dying communities, but people are there because that's how people live. People don't all leave a place all at once unless you get told by the government you have to.
I just feel like there's something weird going on in the world outside. I don't know.
Severance.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what is Lumon training these severed people to do? Like what did they become from an ether company?
Well, I think but I think part of what you're seeing is just like the economy of Pontiac, Michigan in 1992. Like, I think you're also just seeing like what happens when everybody works a very middling job with no room to go up because there's only 3 executives at the whole fucking building and everybody else is making medial money. And they control the whole place because they own all of the property. So, like, they're also making all the money off of rent, off of every fucking aspect of the whole goddamn thing. But everybody there is doing okay. Very much like all the plant factory towns in Michigan throughout the 90s before they all really failed. Like, it was just like they were holding on by their teeth. And I think the factory companies for Lumon, or the factory towns for Lumon, are very much like that. Because also they're trying to push this one product that they're not allowed to wholesale sell yet. So they're sinking all of their funds. Everything they make off of these people is being cycled into like whatever the fuck's going on with Severance. It's not going back into the community. It's not going back into paychecks. Like, it's all gone.
I guess, yeah. I don't know. I know the point of the show is to explain what the fuck's going on, but I've never watched a show more and enjoyed it, but also been like, brilliant. I have no fucking clue what just happened in that episode.
How about Dylan's innie with his outies wife?
Oh, his innie is going to try to fuck his outies wife.
Well, I don't think he will. They're being watched by a child.
Yeah, but I like how he says, can we do the hugging again? I like the hugging. And she does it. And she seems much more open to talking to Dylan innie than she does with his outie.
But yeah, Zinny's a sweet guy who asks permission for a hug.
His
outie seems like a nice enough guy, just kind of a loser.
Yeah, that's what I mean. She already knows he's a loser. If she spent time with Dylan inside and saw like how competitive and what a snitch he was, and like she probably wouldn't be that into him either. But it's a version of the guy she already loves who's like, oh, "You're amazing. You're my wife. I have children. That's amazing."
His offspring.
Can I hug you? I really like hugging you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like yeah, it's a fucking lobotomized version of her husband who's just kind. Like, most people would probably really come out of that like, that was nice. that person doesn't hate me for something I did 15 years ago that they just keep to themselves quietly. But I don't think they're going to fuck, because again, he's like asking permission for a hug. They're being monitored by a child who's at the school program. I don't think they're going to write themselves into a corner where they have to explain why a child watched them fuck.
You're right.
Yeah. Maybe.
I think it's just going to make her husband, like her relationship with her outie, worse. Because she keeps wanting to like spend time with that guy and lie about it. And then we still haven't found out what's going on with Bert after we find out that Bert's all evil.
Yeah, he was looking out the door like, I'm going to fuck your shit up.
Well, and his husband got all drunk and gave away the fact that he's been with Lumon for like 8 years longer than he initially said.
Right. And so why Mark? Are they targeting Mark specifically? Mark and Gemma?
I think Mark and Gemma became experiments under Cobell, who invented the system. So she was trying to figure out like an extra layer of something, and it worked better on like whatever they're doing on the back end with the way he's collecting data because of their weird connection that kind of broke the severance barrier or changed how things work. So I think she was kind of observing and collecting her own personal data that the company became aware of because she was being so weird and the whole thing blew up. So now they know that Mark's important to solving this. But before that, I think she was just like promoted to being in charge of that for shutting her fucking mouth. You can have your own severance floor where you can do whatever you want. This is your idea. You can figure it out. You just can't ever fucking tell anybody. And then as they pushed her out, now she's like, I'm going to prove this is mine. Fuck these people. I'll burn it to the ground. And then she gets the call from Mark. And now also she's going to help Mark and that other lady do the reintegration. And she knows it better than anyone. She fucking invented it.
Right. She when she told Devin, she's like, Ragabi, she hasn't killed him yet.
Sarah, yeah.
Yeah. But in the episode previous, all the names of the rooms that Gemma goes in are the names of the files that they do in macro data refinement.
Right.
So what the fuck is that all about? They're building experiences.
Dude, I don't know. It's weird. Because those are all different severed minds. Like Gemma's, each room's a different severed version of Gemma.
Right, but one of them's just her that only goes to the fucking dentist.
Right, but they're not all Miss Casey and they're not all Gemma. They're all different people.
Oh, that's fucking... No, I don't think...
Yes, each room's a different Gemma. Go back and rewatch it. I studied it. Each one's a different Gemma. They don't have shared experience.
Well, but then she says she went into 6 rooms today. Well, I guess she would remember going in and coming out of the rooms.
Yeah, because that version of her is the version from the hallway.
Oh, fuck. Dude, what the fuck is this show, Ben Stiller?
And then when she goes up, she's a whole different person on the severed floor. She's Miss Casey.
Right. Oh.
So there's another additional layer of severance before she can reach the ground.
Dude... And this is also they can make ether.
No, we don't know what the ultimate end game here is. It seems like it's trying to figure out something to do with the tempers and creating like a perfect person and like utilizing it in their cult.
Is there going to be a big monster in this, we think?
No.
Oh.
No monster?
I wanted it to be a big monster.
Yeah.
It'd be really funny if this was just a regular-ass creepy show about work, and then at the end they had to fight a big monster.
Yeah, just Adam Scott fighting a monster is what you want, huh?
Yeah.
I unfortunately don't think you'll be getting that.
He's like, I don't know Kung Fu, but my innie does, and then he reintegrates and fucking kicks the fucking monster's ass with Kung Fu.
The description for the next episode highly implies that Devin and Mark and Cobell are going to get together and figure it out.
It says...
I'll tell you that the integration, or whatever she calls it, is pretty cool when he's like in his house and then he's just getting these twitches and then he's at work and he's having a conversation kind of in both.
Yeah, but...
It's good camera work.
Yeah, but you have to wonder if he's showing his hand when he's at work.
Right.
Like, did
Miss Wong was like, what?
Yeah, did she see him freak out?
Yeah.
Or is that just the way his memory is doing it because he's having both in that room?
And she did ask him after he had the bloody nose, but the temperature, she's like, "Are you having hallucinations?"
Yeah.
Yeah. It says season 2, episode 9. Mark fights a big monster.
Mark and Devin. Devin and Mark meet up with an ally.
Which is the big monster.
And then what's the second sentence? This is me going off of memory.
Ellie investigates further.
Nice.
That's so stupid. The episode description for tonight's one was discoveries are made.
Yeah, they were.
That's so stupid. The episode 9, the After Hours. Mark and Devin team up with a big monster.
Ally.
Why don't you just let me have fun?
Because the big monster's Cobell.
She is. It was a metaphor.
I don't think she's a monster. I think she's a genius girl who grew up in a cult and is about to break bad Leah Remini style.
And she's been experimenting on Mark and Gemma for her own twisted pleasure.
Not really. She wasn't running the experiment on the basement. She was running the experiment on the severed floor where she was trying to figure out if Mark and Gemma's love made his connection better. Huh. I don't think she's necessarily super in charge of what that doctor's doing in the basement.
The weird dentist guy
he's every guy. The rest of them are costumes.
Right, but he's still a perv.
Oh, he's a total perv. He's in love with Gemma.
Yeah, your husband remarried.
Oh yeah, well, and you can tell when even fucking fat boy Three Stooges haircut man Drummond,
Mr.
Drummond fucking says you're getting creepy with this bitch.
Yes, exact words.
Exactly verbatim. No, I forget what he says, but he implies heavily this is an experiment. It's almost over. You stop being a creep.
And he couldn't stop being a creep.
No, he got extra creepy.
Double creep on that ass.
The fucking Christmas thing is so creepy.
Oh, where she has to
write 1 million thank you cards.
There's a
wrong hand.
There's a version of her that only exists in writing thank you cards for Christmas.
Yeah.
That sucks, dude.
There's a version of it that only exists when she goes to the dentist.
Yeah. Dude, I'm glad she bashed that motherfucker with a chair.
Yeah. She almost was out, too, dude. She just didn't know to fight fucking Milkshake.
Milkshake. Where did he come from? He was just
She went up to the severed floor. She has to go up to that floor to get to the next floor to get out.
But she was Miss Casey at that point.
Right, but when she had to go from the experiment floor up the elevator to the severed floor, and then she'd have to get to the other set of elevators to go up to the non-severed floor.
Okay, so Miss Casey knows that she is also sub-Miss Casey who gets experimented on?
No, she just thinks she goes in the elevator and it turns off. She doesn't know anything. She's like the other innies.
But how would she remember that she was escaping when she got to the severed floor?
She didn't. That's why Milkshake was just like, hey, what are you doing? Go back. And she was like, okay. And you could tell there was something nagging at her, why would I be here? But it wasn't I'm escaping. It was definitely more of why would I be here and why would he be here to stop me?
Yeah. Hey, you're going to want to turn around and go back to the torture.
Yeah, it'd be like if you woke up full sprint, you'd be like, why was I running full sprint? Is something chasing me? This is a weird thing to do.
Oh, what a show. There's 2 episodes left. Where our chances are dwindling for big monsters.
Probably no monsters.
There was that little ghoul girl.
She was a representation of woe.
Yeah, but there was still a fucking ghoul.
Maybe they'll go to a lower floor and there'll be Kier.
Shit.
Rotting
and he's half man, half scorpion?
Maybe, but that would be insane because we know the Severed program is only 12 years old. So that Cobell invented it as a child, which would have been 100 years after Kier died.
But she was a child, and then she invented it, and then they didn't Well, I guess maybe the technology wasn't
perfected
until 12 years ago, before the start of season 1.
Right, but if she invented it at 16 and they've had it for 12 years, that means it probably took them like, what, 10, 15,
30.
10, 15 years to develop. They're probably saying she's in her 50s.
No.
Her mom's caretaker is still alive at the house after her mom died when she's 12. Like, in story, I think she's supposed to be younger than she looks.
Let's see. She's 65 in real life. No, that's Rosanna. Sorry.
It's okay. It's not your fault.
Rosanna.
56. Oh, shit.
Yeah, I think she's playing somebody maybe even like 5 years younger than herself.
All right, so she's early mid 50s then.
Yeah. So, again, yeah, maybe it took 15, 20 years to perfect Severance, or to perfect it to the point where they were telling the public they were doing it to people. But either way, it's been 100 years since Keir died by the time she invented it.
If Keir was real.
Well, I think Keir was real. I think the whole thing's just a cult based on, like, Keir being this weirdo fuck that came out of the Civil War as a snake oil salesman who started a medicine company that kind of legitimized himself, but was mostly running cults in these company towns. And this one company town, he's getting everybody fucked up on ether and running the cult. And, like, ether probably played a heavy role in the cult up until Severance.
Maybe.
I mean, they show in the town that literally everyone's addicted to ether, and that Cobell blames the nurse for getting all the children hooked on ether. And
that guy got ether at the restaurant.
Yeah.
In the pilot script, it says Cobell is 40 years old.
Yeah. So 12 and 18. So it took 10 years to develop Severance.
Yeah, but Mrs. Selvig came off as an older woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's just an all gray bitch knowing her skills. Steve Martin played guys way older than he was all through the 70s.
Yeah, because he had
gray
silver hair since he was 20 years old.
So he could play like a washed up 45-year-old detective when he was 38 and nobody gave a fuck.
Well, did I tell you that I read the Lexington letter?
Good job, Mitchie.
Thanks, man. I'm really trying.
Yeah, isn't it very informative?
Mm-hmm. So the mill chicks are in on it.
Right? Isn't that crazy at the end?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a family endeavor. It's probably a really good company to work for. They've got the Severed program going on. Like, I'm sure they're raking in investor money and money from the cult, money from their other medicines.
From the ether sales.
I'm sure if you're a young kid in, like, Philly, fucking Pittsburgh, Detroit, looking for a way out of the city, you're like, oh, fuck, I could go work for Lumon. They're paying like crazy. Nobody will tell you what you do.
Poor Peggy K.
Yeah, Peggy got fucked. Good thing she had a twin.
What?
That language.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The language. The code detectors. Yeah. Yeah, Matt, are you familiar?
I don't know.
So, the Lexington letter is like a prequel to everything that happens in Severance season 1.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lady named Peggy who she's writing to an independent journalist about what goes on at Lumon.
Mm-hmm.
And she fears for her innies' safety and whatnot.
Oh.
And at the very end, it's revealed that the editor she's been emailing back and forth is Jim Milchick.
Oh, shit. Milchicks had been in for a while.
Yep.
He didn't look too happy when he was putting all those paper clips on, to the point that his fingers were shaking.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a question about that. They said that he incorrectly paper clips everything backwards.
Mm-hmm.
So how the fuck do you paper clip something forward? Is it okay? So you're looking at the paper clip. Does the little inner part of the paper clip go on the front of the page, and the biggest, like the outer loop, goes on the back of the page, or is it flipped?
No, the little part on the front, so you get more turnability on the page.
And it's easier to add things to the pile.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but it looked like he was paper clipping those where the inner loop is on the back of the page and then the outer loop was on the front of the page.
That could be how Lumen requires it, or he could have been being obstinate.
I
don't think he was being obstinate, because right afterwards he immediately goes to learning how to dumb down his speech.
Yeah, that's true. So it's probably just how Lumen requires it.
I might be wrong, but like also it made me think like, how the fuck do you paperclip something backwards?
Yeah, that's a fair question.
And who complained about that? That seemed like something Irving would complain about.
Or Mrs. Huang.
They're just looking for things to fuck with him about.
Right.
It's a corporate write-up.
Just before the events of the series, it seems like Irving was kind of a tattletale.
Yeah. I don't think he's who told, though. I think it's the paperwork he turns into his superiors. Irving doesn't see any of Milchek's paperwork.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
It was that guy that got whacked. What was his name? Christian Slater?
It was probably Cobell, or just like literally the board.
Right. I want to know what's up with the board. They're always secretly on that fucking speaker box. They're so creepy.
Yeah, it's going to be weird. I think it might be a computer.
I think it's a computer.
Oh, dude, that would fuck me up. I don't like that.
It looks like it's a computer when you look at Petey's map.
Do you think it's Kier's brain uploaded into a computer?
It might be like an amalgamation of what they think is Kier's brain, but I don't think it's actually Kier. I don't think they've had Kier's brain on ice successfully since the Civil War.
Something tells me they have. They put it in ether, dude.
I just don't think so. I don't think they were legitimate until they stole this idea from Harmony.
We are just a simple, homegrown ether cult.
Yeah.
Hey, does this rag smell funny? Well, now you believe in Kier.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get caught up. It's been a busy week or so. I still got Spider-Man to watch. I still have.
It's rules.
Man, I got all kinds of shit I gotta watch. That Spider-Man is great. I'm also trucking forward. I don't know if any of you guys have watched Lock and Key, but I watch it sometimes.
I watched the first season, and then I was like, I'll return to this later, and then I forgot.
I think I watched the first two and then never watched the third. Is the third the final?
I don't know. I'm in the middle of the second.
Okay.
I'm watching it with one of my daughters.
The second one's got the evil lady, right?
No, that was the first season.
Okay. It's been a while.
She takes on, or Dodge takes on the role of Gabe, the boyfriend of the girl.
Right. I remember.
And it's good. It's a good show.
I like it better than the book. It's better for sparing the rape scenes.
Yeah. I read the book, the first few at least.
They're rough.
And it was a little rough.
They're a little rough.
And when I was watching the show with my daughter, I was thinking, oh, God, am I going to have to deal with this?
Here it comes. Yeah, it never happens.
Yeah, it didn't happen. But I told her what happens in the comics. So. But it's good. It's a good show. I would like to be done with it just so that I could focus my energy on other things. We have Stranger Things coming out later this year in 2 parts. I want to be ready for that.
Yeah, they're going to all be 30.
Nice. I thought I was like 30 minutes when I realized you meant the whole cast.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we got to get ready for prom.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's a Muppet, but
I think he might be.
Might be.
That's how the tooth thing happened. They were felt.
Dude, that'd be fucking a great gag. Just to come back with a new season of a show, but the entire cast is replaced by Muppets.
Fuck yeah.
Just no one knows until it's just like everyone except for what's his name?
Hopper.
David Harbour is fucking a Muppet.
Yeah. I would watch the shit out of that. And they don't acknowledge it ever.
Right.
That's what happens in the Upside Down.
Yes.
You become a Muppet.
That'd be dope.
So wait, so how old are they now? Let me see. All right, Mike is 22. Will is 20. Levin is 21.
And married or engaged to John Bon Jovi's son.
I think they're married now.
Yeah, they're married.
Jesus.
Caleb is 23. Or Lucas, excuse me.
Yeah, remember when it was that tiny little girl who just wanted some Eggos, and now we're finally to the 4th season, and she's married and can drink?
Oh, no.
What about Erica? Oh, what are they going to
her
do
powers-
about Erica?
Her powers are going to be fucking unchecked now that she's drinking.
Fuck, dude. Erica's 18. How is she going to be in the show?
I don't know. It's also, what did it start when they're in the 6th grade? So they're supposed to be in the 10th grade now.
Right.
Unless they do a couple of year.
They're gonna have to.
Yeah, I think so.
But it would be weird because then like just paranormal shit just stopped for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
We hit a nice lull there for a while, children, but it's back.
Vecna had to go. He was on vacation in Vegas.
Vecna got COVID.
Both Jonathan and Steve, they're both in their early 30s.
Yeah. But I think they're playing 19-year-olds, so that's okay.
No, they're older than that, I would say.
I think Steve was in high school in the 1st season.
That's right.
Yes.
And then he's in high school in the 2nd season. And then he's 18, 19 in the 3rd season.
Yeah, because Nancy's graduated.
Right. So he's like 19. And then so now he's 20-ish, 19 to 20.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it wouldn't even be a big deal. I don't have a problem with like people playing younger characters. It's more that we've watched all these people grow up. So it's a hard sell. Because they did.
Yeah, that's fair.
They did start playing them as children. So it made like it was perfect casting, and now it's very much 90210 casting.
Right. And that's why if you're going to do a show with kids, you should really have a timeline on it, and it should be very aggressive.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
they kind of missed not committing to shooting one every year.
Yeah, if they knew they were going to go this long, they should have amped it up a while ago.
Maybe they didn't anticipate how popular the show would be.
I think they knew pretty quick, though, and like production's been slow the whole time. It's not just COVID or anything.
Right.
They've consistently been kind of bad about it.
Yeah, and it does a disservice to it.
I genuinely am going to have to rewatch it, at least the last season, to know what we're going into this with as far as stakes, because I just genuinely don't remember. It's been 4 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Just think about Kate Bush. I'm running up the hill, look at you, wake up.
Yeah,
I
so
watched it not too long ago.
almost 3 years. Yeah, it's almost 3 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's nuts. Who do they think they are, Larry David?
You know what I just watched?
No.
I just finished watching season 3 of The Righteous Gemstones.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
You're getting amped up.
Yeah, dude, because the new season starts on the 9th. Sunday.
Sunday.
Dude, that was a really good season. I should have listened to you when you told me to watch it when it aired like 2 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I want to talk about it now.
Well, that's great. You're really good at wanting to talk about shows when they're fresh out of my mind. What happens exactly?
So this is the season where Eli, he steps down from the church, and now Jesse, Kelvin, and Judy are running it, but the church attendance is down because they can't stop bickering.
Right.
And they're about to lose all the, like, there's the race car driver, and the Gemstones are trying to get his estate willed to them rather than the Simkin, Stephen Dorff's family.
Yeah.
And then also Eli's sister
Uh-huh.
and her boys are on the run from the militia leader. Steve
Right.
Zahn.
Steve Zahn, the boy's dad.
Yeah. But also at the end of the season, it seems like it very much seems like that was a series finale end of the season.
They didn't get renewed until after.
In fact, I think I remember you saying that was like the perfect way to end it.
Yeah. They'd already produced the whole season before they knew they got renewed.
Them bashing shit in a monster truck while Dolly Parton's version of Heaven Let Your Light Shine Down played.
Yeah.
I fucking teared up, man. That was so beautiful.
Doesn't Goodman die?
No.
Oh,
He's
okay.
alive.
I thought he was dead at the end of the season for some reason.
In the at the end of the season, Gideon tells Eli that he wants to be a minister.
Oh, that's right.
And so basically they left the end of the season where they got ransomed by Steve Zahn.
Oh, yeah.
And then they came back, they worked together. Because of the ransom story, he's like, Danny McBride's like, now we can play the fucking victims.
Yeah.
And so their church attendance is back up. They have Baby Billy's Bible Bonkers.
Yep.
The game show that they're going to do. Kelvin is fully out and gay with Keith.
Yep.
Keith gives a thumbs up to John Goodman, and he gives it back to him. So, and BJ and Judy are good. There was that whole the whole season was like, but it was like over the pants dry humping or whatever it ended up being.
Doesn't that guy whip his cock out?
He sure does. He fights BJ while he's naked.
That's right.
BJ breaks into the house and the dude's like just jerking off, and then BJ goes to punch him and doesn't knock him out, and then they have a fight.
I remember that. Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it seems like they wrapped everything up in a nice little bow, and then now they're doing a fourth and final season.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm excited. I like that show. I think it's my favorite of the Danny McBride shows. Over Eastbound.
I don't know if it's better than Eastbound.
I guess I should say I've never watched the last two seasons of Eastbound.
I've never screamed at the TV laughing. I've never had food come out of my nose while watching The Righteous Gemstones. I think it's a really good TV show, but I think Eastbound and Down might be one of the funniest fucking things anybody's ever done.
All right. I started watching Vice Principals, too.
Vice Principals is dark, and it's funny, but it's not the same.
All right. I got to finish Eastbound, but right now my favorite is Righteous Gemstones.
God gave me the mind of a genius, arm like a cannon, and dick like a fucking python.
I liked him in This Is the End. He was pretty funny in that.
Yeah.
Oh, that ruled. With fucking, what's his ass on a leash?
Channing Tatum.
Tatum, yeah.
Fuck this dude in the ass whenever I want.
Him just passed out in the bathtub. It rules. All right.
Danny McBride.
Where would people tell us about their favorite Danny McBride thing, Mitch?
Oh, well, they can write us an email at broadcastgeeks@gmail.com.
They could also...
Are we switching? I don't know what we do anymore, so...
Well, you do it really well, but I mean, if they wanted to, they could probably follow us on... Are we still on X? I asked that last week.
At Broadcast Geeks. I don't know what the password is or who's running it. It's probably...
a bot.
Probably a bot.
We'll let Jeff do it.
We're on Clear Sky or Blue Sky or whatever the hell it is.
Blue Sky at broadcastgeeks.bsky.social.
At Instagram at broadcast_geeks.
You can email us at...
we said that part again.
Well, we sure fucking did.
Broadcastgeeks@gmail.com.
But they can also review us and subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah.
Podbean.
Not Podbean.
What?
Rate us
We don't
on
want them to go
Apple.
to Podbean. Yeah, nobody's on Podbean except for us.
Oh. Okay.
Apple influences
Or
the
Spotify.
algorithm.
Oh, yeah. And YouTube, but no video.
Yeah, also, even if you listen on those, rate on Apple.
Okay.
Rate on Apple.
Yeah. Oh, and shout out to the dude that messaged you about our Severance episode.
Yeah, shout out M, who is
Shout-
a CB fan, who is a big fan of Mitch watching Severance finally and getting caught up.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out James Woodman. What up, dog?
What up, Doug?
JD, Marcelo, the whole
Mark.
crew. Mark.
Yeah, Mark Williams. All right. Well, with that, then I will leave you with Excelsior.
Yeah.